A lot of people think that AA cures everything. It's the only thing that you need. Well, it's not necessarily true. And today's Daily Reflections talks about that very thing. So welcome to the AA Daily Reflections for April 23rd, entitled AA is not a cure-all. It would be a product of false pride to claim that AA is a cure-all, even for alcoholism. That's from As Bill Sees It, page 285. In my early years of sobriety, I was full of pride, thinking that AA was the only source of treatment for a good and happy life. It certainly was the basic ingredient for my sobriety, and even today, with over 12 years in the program, I am very involved in meetings, sponsorship, and service. During the first 4 years of my recovery, I found it necessary to seek professional help, since my emotional health was extremely poor. There are those folks too who have found sobriety and happiness in other organizations. AA taught me that I had a choice to go to any lengths to enhance my sobriety. AA may not be a cure-all for everything, but it is the center of my sober living. I love this because I've actually heard, and I can't remember, maybe I didn't hear it, maybe I'm just making stuff up. I've actually heard that some people are like, you don't need depression meds or anything else. You just need AA. And I think that is a very, very dangerous attitude to have. My personal story involves intense psychiatric treatment. Just kidding, but not really. No, I have been on medication really since the wheels fell off and since I got into AA. And I can tell you personally that that medication has helped me immensely, and I think has laid a foundation for me to build my AA house upon. I've also been through professional counseling. Now, nothing against counselors, but I think if you're gonna see a counselor, I don't want to give my opinions out here or advice. I'll put it to you this way. When I went to a counselor and they weren't a drunk, they couldn't understand me on a base level that I needed understanding. There's nothing wrong with counseling, and I highly recommend it because there's probably a ton of trauma that we need to work through. I did get to a point in my sobriety where I was just like, whatever. The past is the past. I'm not going to return to it. I really don't care what caused my alcoholism because it doesn't matter what caused it. What matters is how I act in the program, what my actions are, what my relationship is like with my higher power. If I want to untangle that giant knot of Christmas lights that is in the garage, that when I pull it out, it looks like the basis for my daughter's science project for the solar system, well, then I can. And that's great. And it'll probably benefit me in some way. But the way I look at things is I keep it incredibly simple. I'm a drunk. I'm a pickle, and I'm not turning back into a cucumber. Is what caused all this mess important to confront and figure out? Maybe. I don't know. But when I look at the 12 and 12 in step 4, it talks about maladaptive instincts. Well, an instinct is part of us. I've talked about this before. I feel sometimes like I'm a trained German Shepherd. German Shepherds can lead the blind across the street. German Shepherds can smell drugs and find them. German Shepherds can jump over a 12-foot wall and grab a guy that just stole a box of cornflakes. Very dangerous criminal. They can do a lot of things. But even when they're sitting there and a squirrel jumps out in their periphery, they're still going to look at it. And I think deep down that German Shepherd really wants to go chase that squirrel. Maybe get it. Who knows? But that's how I am. At my base level, I have maladaptive instincts. And at the bottom of the first page of the 4th chapter in the 12 and 12, it says, nearly every serious emotional problem can be seen as a case of misdirected instinct. It means it's in us. All the issues that we have, nearly all the issues that we have, I think 100% of the issues that I have are a case of misdirected instinct. So it's there. I don't need to cry about it. If I want to figure it out, I can go figure it out. But what the book tells me is that I need to take action. However, there is good news, because even though I have maladaptive instincts, the big book has a bit of a solution for that. Upon awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. We consider our plans for the day. We ask God to direct our thinking, especially asking that it be divorced from self-pity, dishonest, or self-seeking motives. It goes on to say that under these conditions, we can use our mental faculties with assurance, and they will be placed on a much higher plane when our thinking is cleared of wrong motives. So that's the training for us. Even though the German Shepherd wants to eat the squirrel, even though I want to be maladaptive to this world, if I do something about it, the big book says, for the most part, you're going to be all right if you do this thing. There's a bit of a caveat to this. On page 88, it says, we are often surprised how the right answers come after we have tried this for a while. What used to be the hunch or the occasional inspiration gradually becomes a working part of the mind. Here it is. Here's the kicker. Being still inexperienced and having just made conscious contact with God, it is not probable that we are going to be inspired all of the times. We might pay for this presumption in all sorts of absurd actions and ideas. Man, they certainly know what a drunk is like. A trained German Shepherd, or maybe a Pomeranian. So what's the takeaway for me? Therapist, all sorts of other stuff is great. It's really important. Medicine, very important if you need it. I can honestly say that AA, for me, about 90% of what I am today. The other 10%, and maybe it's more, but the other 10% I think is working with a psychiatrist for the last 20 plus years. It wasn't always easy. There are some tweaks along the way, but what I believe, and this could be a chicken or an egg scenario, maybe my meds helped me to not be so crazy and be able to do the 12 steps. Maybe the 12 steps allowed me to be a little bit calmer, so the medicine actually helped out more. I don't know. I don't care. Only thing I do care about is how I feel today. But more importantly, because feelings are a bunch of BS, what I'm doing today. What I'm doing today is praying, I'm meditating, I'm making this video, I'm reflecting on what I just read and learned, and maybe I'm helping somebody if you're watching this video. And if you are watching this video, like and subscribe. Maybe check this out. I don't do them every day, but I do them most days. So if you're a drunk, go to a meeting, meet another drunk in recovery, and chit-chat with them. If you're in recovery, go to a meeting. Can't go to a meeting, call another drunk and chit-chat with them. And if you can, whatever situation you're in, leave it a little bit better than you found it. Be nice. Make someone feel good. Thanks for watching.